Daniel, Jose Older, and Kay Zema put Zuckuss and 4LOM in some deep trouble as an old target long thought dead comes back to wreak havoc on the hunters and pit them against one another. Daniel Jose Older explores the famed hunting duo in a surprisingly funny and heartfelt issue that picks up after the hunters run-in with Boba Fett, which left both of them for dead at the beginning of the War of the Bounty Hunters. Daniel gives Zuckuss some much needed character development here, and I enjoy the idea that without his friend, the Gan Findsman finds himself severely depressed and he can't be bothered to do anything anymore and just wants to drown his sorrows away in a cantina. We saw some of that in the recent Bounty Hunters issue as well, and it was great there, so to have a whole issue devoted to him sort of exploring this idea that without his best friend, without his partner, he's kind of lost, and kind of the ironic nature of a Findsman being lost is kind of awesome. As for 4LOM, transforming him into a mindless killer robot was maybe a little bit of a cliche, and I mean, I did like how he was used as a revenge tool for the book's villain with a unique twist to that, but it feels like we have seen the whole best friends turn on each other story so many times. Maybe a follow-up with Zuckuss getting another shot at helping his friend would flesh it out a little bit more, and I think that's what will happen at some point later on in the War of the Bounty Hunters, or after it, since the plot is left open-ended and I imagine it will be picked up in Bounty Hunters. Kay Zama's artwork for the issue was really lovingly detailed, and I like how much of the issue was set in the confined alleys of Nar Shaddaa, kinda echoing this through line of the book where Zuckuss is alone and left behind in this claustrophobic surrounding that's sort of stifling him and he can't get out of it. War of the Bounty Hunters, 4LOM and Zuckuss issue 1 was a pretty great and funny character-focused issue that had some interesting character drama and action, albeit a rather cliched friend versus friend storyline that will hopefully be explored a little bit more as time goes on. I'm going to give this issue a 7.5 out of 10. War of the Bounty Hunters, 4LOM and Zuckuss issue 1 heads to Tatooine, where a group of Jawas near Jabba's palace head into a canyon, coming across something that makes one of them radio into his friends. On Nar Shaddaa, Zuckuss stumbles out into the rain-soaked alleys, falling unconscious before later making his way to Jaeger's music hall and petting zoo. Trott, one of the denizens of the place, notices Zuckuss, telling him that he looks like bantha fodder. Zuckuss asks where 4LOM is, since they were fighting Boba Fett, and then he doesn't remember what happened. Trott says that he heard the droid was done for and was disintegrated, but someone said that Fett stole his head and it's still intact somewhere. Zuckuss knows that 4LOM was the one who understood him, as sometime before, Zuckuss and 4LOM team up with Deva Lompop, who along with other hunters gives them the bounty on droid mechanic and warlord Dr. Kriberiz Idolax, showing them all recordings of his compound, which is heavily armed and well guarded. Deva says that the bounty is one galactic lump sum, and it goes to whoever takes out the good doctor. Zuckuss tells Trott that it was just a simple job, and out of all of the hunters, he was the only one with the power of finding, having located the doctor with ease. While he leads, he did say he needed some backup, as he was ambushed by droid assassins. In present-day Tatooine, a trader meets with the Jawa, finding that it has something to offer, smiling upon seeing what the Jawa has found amongst the dunes. On Nar Shaddaa, a brawl breaks out in the bar, with Trott taking down some of the tourist scum who have cornered one of his friends. Zuckuss is still depressed, but Trott tells him not to get too worried since teammates only get in the way of the real fun. Trott is told not to cut off the Hammerhead's arms, ask what is wrong with him, as Zuckuss says that he remembers what it was like having a partner, as he remembers getting confronted by the assassins, who tell him the doctor doesn't see random bug jerks without appointments. 4LOM steps out of the shadows of the alley, telling his friend to duck as he blasts the droids apart, killing them all before thanking the dead droids for confirming their target is close. The droid wonders which one of them will get the bounty, but before Zuckuss can respond, the blast doors begin opening. Zuckuss says that he knew 4LOM would ask about the bounty, so they will take it 50-50 as he shoots Dr. Kriberiz in half. In present day Tatooine, the trader Ramson tells someone he saw it and it was real, with the person wanting it. The little Jawa gives gives the hooded being that Ramson was talking to the bag, as it's revealed the being is Dr. Kriberitz, alive and well, and now he has the head of 4 LOM, and he will be able to extract his revenge. In the present, the bar brawl dies down and the men are kicked out as Karj knows that Trott didn't need to help. Trott says that both of them had it coming as Zuckuss suddenly senses 4 LOM nearby, knowing that he's so close. He takes off down an alley with Trott, who says that he can't be running around in his condition. Soon Zuckuss senses that his friend is close as the now new and improved giant 4 LOM appears behind him. Zuckuss says that he's been upgraded as 4 LOM attacks, saying that Zuckuss must die. 4 LOM tries to blast his former friend as Zuckuss tries to convince him to come to his senses. Trott calls in the Jegger squad, wanting some help as 4 LOM continues his assault. Zuckuss soon gives in to 4 LOM's call for his death, knowing if this is what it is to be, then so be it, since a Findsman cannot destroy his only friend. Suddenly 4 LOM is shot by one of Trott's people, his arm blown off by a sniper as Jegger squad arrive, racing to the fight, but 4 LOM unleashes some Trendles that grapple onto the soldiers. Zuckuss continues to wonder if this is friendship as 4 LOM wipes the floor with Jegger squad. Trott says that this isn't friendship, they are just making sure that they don't wreck the neighborhood. Zuckuss suddenly slams into 4 LOM, crushing him against the wall as he says that he regrets to inform him that his friendship with 4 LOM is over for trying to kill him, which leaves Zuckuss no choice but to try and kill him back. Zuckuss stops, however, recognizing the shoddy craftsmanship of 4 LOM's new body, knowing it cannot be. Zuckuss soon senses something like a dream from long ago. He follows his senses as it beckons him towards an alley, causing him to rush off into the alley where he finds Dr. Kriberitz, who tells him to stay back. Zuckuss says that he was sure he murdered the man before, having cut him in two, but the doctor says that was actually his brother, knowing that their mother always said they favored each other. In the past, Kriberitz remembers how his brother was his only true friend, and he was a philanthropist who was always doing good things for others, and he hated that his brother had become a warlord. And one day he came to see him, telling the doctor that he couldn't abide by his violent lifestyle. The two brothers had an argument, and soon the brother left, and after, Kriberitz decided to follow his brother's advice and change his ways. And as he came looking for his brother, he soon found that the hunters 4 LOM and Zuckuss had murdered him. After that day, he hid away from the galaxy, perfecting his craft and killing those who got in his way before quietly putting the word out that he was looking for Zuckuss and 4 LOM, and kill them in order to honor what he imagined to be his brother's final wish. Zuckuss says that he's deeply moved by the connection for the brothers, reminding him of his connection with 4 LOM. Because of it, he needs to kill the doctor, shooting him and finally killing Dr. Kriberitz. Zuckuss rushes off back to 4 LOM, smashing up the remote the doctor had that was using to control him and freeing his old friend. 4 LOM, however, walks off aimlessly through the side streets, with not a thought inside his droid brain, leaving Zuckuss alone once more as Jegger Squad celebrates their victory.